All right. Hello, my name is Chris. I'm going to be your dietitian today. It's nice to meet you, Ree.
You too.
So I see here that you have been diagnosed with acute pancreatitis. How are you feeling about that?
A little nervous.
I'm sure you're in a lot of discomfort right now.
Yeah, I have a lot of pain in my stomach and it just hurts pretty bad.
Well, we're going to see what we can do about that.
Okay.
So for starters, we want to make sure that you are getting plenty of calories. So we're not going to try to inhibit too much. The only thing that we are going to inhibit is your fat intake. But I do want you to try and think, what do you typically eat in a normal day-to-day basis?
Well, I have some scrambled eggs for breakfast. For lunch, I usually have some fried chicken with maybe mashed potatoes and gravy. And maybe like a beer or two.
Okay.
And then for dinner, I might have some fried fish. I really like fried fish, and maybe a side of French fries or hush puppies with that.
So you eat out quite a bit.
Yeah. I'm not a big cook. I'm at home all day with the kids, so we try to get out at night. And then, I'll top that off with some wine or another beer.
Okay, so a fair amount of alcohol consumption.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, so the bad news there is I'm going to have to ask you to just abstain from all alcohol. I know it sucks, but that is one of the biggest irritants for pancreatitis, and it's often the cause for it. I also see that you have gallstones as well. That can also be one, but it's most likely going to be the alcohol. So we need to just abstain from that. And then I also see here that you do like to eat out. You like to eat your fried foods a lot.
Oh yeah.
So that's going to take a little bit of work, but we're going to manage that. So for starters, we need to reduce your fat intake to maybe about 20 grams a day. Quite a bit lower, but maybe we can swap out the fried stuff from maybe grilled or something like that. And if you do use oils to cook in anything, try to use your medium chain triglycerides, which those are going to be stuff like palm oil, coconut oil, stuff like that. If you're unsure if your products have any of that in there, just take a look at the ingredients on the back of it, and we'll see what we can do to swap it out for stuff like that. Definitely avoid anything that says hydrogenated or anything like that in the ingredients list, hydrogenated oils, because that's going to be a big irritation as well. Do you drink any coffee or anything like that either?
Yeah, I drink coffee with breakfast.
Okay. Well, we might want to lay off that for a little while too, because that can sometimes be an irritant.
Okay.
So that'll definitely help you out, because we want to make sure that we're taking it very easy on the pancreas. So the lower fats, because I see here also that you one of your symptoms was steatorrhea, which basically means the fats that you're consuming are not being digested right.
Oh.
So they just kind of sit in there and then come out at the other end very discomforting. So this will definitely help with that. And then those medium chains I mentioned earlier, like coconut oil, palm oil, that's going to be broken down much easier, so your pancreas doesn't have to work as hard. But to help with that, though, you can also take pancreatic enzymes, which is just an oral supplement. You can actually buy those at Walgreens or Walmart or anything like that, and that'll actually help break down a lot of the foods much easier for you. You just take those as instructed on there, just whenever you eat or anything like that. Now the next thing I probably have you do is, instead of eating a typical breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like you normally do 3 big meals, we try and switch that to 5 or 6 meals a day temporarily.
Okay.
Something small like bowl of soup or granola bar, something like that, just throughout the day. Make sure that you do continue to keep your calories up, but I know it's going to be kind of hard to get that stuff down sometimes, so smaller meals will definitely assist with that.
Okay.
And what was your weight exactly?
About 210.
About 210. Okay. And then, so that would probably put you at maybe around 2,300 calories a day. to eat. So that's still a fair amount of, average amount of calories. So we want to make sure that you're eating plenty for that.
Okay.
If you get your pancreatic enzymes, that'll also help. We also want to make sure that you take a multivitamin as well, if you don't already take one.
I don't.
Well, you probably want to get one of those because it's going to be hard to keep food down right now, and your vitamins and minerals will probably be hard to eat just through your regular food. So just to make sure you're staying healthy and getting plenty of nutrients, you might want to take one of those.
Okay.
And since you have had a history with alcohol, you want to definitely make sure it has a fair amount of thiamine in there as well, and folate, maybe 1 milligram a day of folate, something like that, because that's going to be hard for typically for alcohol users to get that up.
Okay.
Okay, I think that about covers everything I have here. So, like I said, try to swap out for more like grilled foods and stuff like that, and that'll certainly help. We want to make sure that you're not eating anything further that's irritating you, because we want to make sure that everything you're eating is fine for you. If you have trouble with anything, then we want to make sure we make adjustments for it. So I made this food diary for you. So just record here about what you're eating and how you felt at the end of the day, just for these next few, and then we can review that next week, make any adjustments we have to. Some people, they struggle with the proteins a bit more than they might with other foods, so we can maybe swap out the chickens for maybe plant-based proteins or something like that. And most people don't get enough fiber anyways, but just make sure you don't get like too much fiber all at once. Like I said, most people don't get enough anyways, so you're probably good there.
Okay.
And each week that we visit, we're going to be taking your weight measurements just to make sure you're not losing too much weight or gaining any extra weight or anything like that, that you're staying at a healthy level through all this, because we want to make sure that you're well fed, and but at the same time taking it easy on the pancreas. And if you ever have any flare-ups, anything like that, where you're just in a lot of discomfort and you just can't get anything down, just try to drink clear liquids. Anything like from 100% juices or anything like that, just until the flare-up goes and you can start eating orally again.
Oh, okay.
All right, well, I think that about covered everything I have. Do you have any other questions for me?
I don't think so.
All right, well, if you think of any other questions, feel free to email me, and I'll see you next week.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I hope I was lined up early.
Yeah.